Hello and welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Metro Mania, and welcome back to this long Mega Super Monkey Marathon. All we've done is talk about primates for the last week, and it's been a lot of monkey action. So, we're wrapping up today with the war paint version of Koba from Hellcat Studio. And here we have the Hellcat itself. Down here at the bottom, we can see the words version B and then the version that it is. And you can see that just like the other 3 boxes, this guy is indeed just a normal, boring black box with nothing to say for himself other than, hey, I'm in a normal black box. Spinning it around does nothing for us because there's still nothing inside. So, without further ado, let's break him out of the box. You know, this is the 4th time I've done this. I just want to know, do you guys like this little segment of me opening the box and having an initial view before I spin it? Or should I just go right to spinning it and not have this opening thing? Normally, in the comments below, let me know if you like this little opening bit at the beginning here. And also, if you're down in the description, feel free to check out my TikTok and my Instagram, where I post a bunch of cool photos, a lot more than I used to. But anyway, here we go. And there he is. War paint Koba. The war paint on this guy does look pretty cool. It's not as, profuse as Caesar, but looking over, the teeth are more vibrant here. I think it's because everything's popping out. You can see the white and the red still persist. But we're not talking about that yet. What we're going to talk about is, for the last time, at least in the foreseeable future, let's brush a monkey. Just like Caesar, this guy looks super cool with that war paint on. The white really helps pop some of the features on this guy. I mean, everything just kind of stands out a bit more. There's that bit of red, and it's kind of got the same thing going on the chest area that Caesar had. It's a little bit more spaced out, though, so it doesn't feel like it's getting as kind of flushed into itself. Like I said, we'll talk a bit more about that in a second here. But initial impressions, I'm still blown away, and I'm still kind of torn by the war paint version that I think is going to end up being my favorite version of both of these guys, because I feel like they put in a bit more effort. And for the extra money, I would hope so. But you know what? We do have to take Koba off the spinning turntable and talk about him. And now that I'm done with this toothbrush, we could probably go put it back where it belongs so that people can go use it again. So let's do that, and then get to reviewing Koba. You think anybody will notice? So, just like Caesar, this guy comes with one extra accessory than the previous one, but we'll start with the ones you know. We've got his nice rifle here. Again, I really like this guy. It feels a bit more brutal. It feels a bit more industrial and heavy. I like the way it looks. It's got some play features, and it's pretty nice overall. You can see that on the inside. Good gun overall. We've got our shooting hand, which does have, the white on the fingers a little bit for the war paint. It's not as vibrant, but you can definitely tell. And on the back of the hand is a bit of white as well. Same with this slightly open hand. You can kind of see the white a bit more on here. We have our holding hand, I'm assuming. Again, same thing. Our grabby hand of actual holding. Pretty cool. Our regular hand of holding. And then the spear, which I absolutely love. We got this nice wood end here, which leads up to like this sharp, vibrant obsidian kind of like pointed spear dagger part, which looks really good and matches with his like darker colors. And I absolutely love it. You can see we got the little pieces of black in there as well. That like nice reflective and shininess to it. Absolutely love the way this thing looks. Super cool. A little bit more brutal than Caesar's. You know, so is he, so that just makes sense. Anyway, let's talk about the Koba war paint. Bring him a little closer. You can see here the war paint really shines on this guy. He's got the pointing spear. He's got the like this lineage here that looks super cool. It's not like straight white like Caesar's is. I mean, his has lines at the bottom of his mouth, but like his is like a domino mask almost, because there's here, so it's like the, you know. So we left this space wide open. There's no red on this guy. You can see the white lineage there. The scar is a bit more eccentric because the white kind of lets it pop a bit more. It's not kind of hidden away in the darker color. So you can definitely see the scar. I feel like the teeth are a bit brighter as well. They definitely can be seen a bit more vibrantly than they were on the previous version, where it all kind of gets lost in the dark black of his face, which, you know, again, fair. His face was darker, but I think the white helps accentuate and pop all the, like, the smaller details, like the skin effects up here, and all of, like, the little bitty things, like right here, there's white. You can just see how much more of the face pops on the sides from this white. I don't know how they've done it, but again, the scar just looks so much more pronounced because of all of the lighter color around it, allowing the red to be a bit more visible. So it just really does a good job at bringing out all of these features. So I absolutely love this war paint look. Coming to the back, normal back of monkey head with a bunch of hair. Coming around to the front here, we have the war paint chest area. You know, like Caesar, like I said, the lines are a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit more spaced out, so you can see a bit more of the lineage. Like Caesar's went like choo, 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 choo. This one's got like a little bit more space in between them. Looks a bit like a rib cage. There is a red line here in the middle. Still kind of not visible. This one's a bit more visible than the Caesar one. It's just a bit longer, so it's a bit more pronounced. It's still not perfect per se, but it definitely, I think, does a better job at being a red line than the Caesar one. Could still probably use a repaint, but not for me because I'm terrified of it. I'm not seeing as much paint bleeding over. There's still a little bit on the arm here, and on this side, just a little bit, I think. But my Caesar had like the big white patch right here, so it's less paint bleed over, at least on the chest here. There is some on the head, but it's not really noticeable unless you're really looking for it. Yeah, but for the most part, the rest of him is just that normal black fur that makes my camera unhappy with the white background. So nothing too crazy from there. You know, we got our monkey mitts here, which do have the white on them. That does look really cool. There is some of that white on the back. It's not as noticeable, and it kind of almost looks silver on the camera, but, you know, I didn't design the camera. He's got a monkey dump truck back here. He's a monkey man. Coming down, we do have some monkey feet. You can see all of his individually monkey toes, which, again, just pretty much look like all the other individual monkey toes. And then he's got the nice textured bottoms of his feet to make him a happy little monkey man, even though he is full of hate and disgust. But I absolutely love the way this war paint version looks. And I think it's time I pulled out the other version of Koba just so we could see how these two look next to each other. So why don't we do that right now? So you can see here between the two, the war paint on the left and the regular one on the right, they both do look good. The sculpts both look very good. But like I said, the war paint kind of helps accentuate some of those straight up features. You can see the scar a bit easier. You can see his teeth just kind of like a little yellower, it looks like. So it stands out really, really nicely. And it just looks really good. They both look really good, but I think the war paint just helps with the proportions. It makes it look a little bit more real. I think even just having like the faded color looks a bit more realistic. As much as I love the black, it is just like all one big thing. So it just kind of loses its, I don't know, its thing, because you just get lost. Like you have the face here and then you kind of get lost here. This at least is something to see visually in the middle, where it's kind of like, oh, I get it. It's war paint. Or maybe it's Halloween. I don't know. But yeah, it does look good. And I think, you know, I'm very intrigued to see how he looks with Caesar's war paint. So why don't we pull out Caesar now and show you that. So you can see Caesar here definitely still looks a bit better with the war paint, because his is more vibrant, the ghost white. His is a bit more faded. It's not as focused, but you see what I mean with the coloring here, where it's all right there, as opposed to this one, which has some space in between, so you can see a bit more of what's going on. They both do look good in their own way, and with this you could just see how drastically different the faces are. You can see Caesar's face lays a lot more flat here, as opposed to him, which is bunched up and snarling and angry. And they just look really, really cool with each other, especially again in the war paint. I think the war paint helps these guys be a bit more definite. And I absolutely love the way these two look next to each other, and I cannot wait to see what I can do with my display with these guys once I spend 4 hours brushing them until completion. Because, you know, it's still irritating me with this side stuff, but I'm working on it. I'm slowly working on it in between cuts here. But Koba here has to go to Articulation. So why don't we go do that right now. So, Koba Articulation, life-ending, scary war paint 360 degrees, with it up that far and a down that far. So back and forth, but not much. Arm goes up about that far. Arm goes 360. You get a good elbow bend, so you can do some monkey chest banging. There is a bit of ab crunch, but not too much. Leg spreads very loosely. Leg goes up about that far. Leg goes back about that far. Knee bend and ankle articulation for all of your ankle articulation needs, so you can do some fairly decent things with a monkey pose. So, I mean, just like all the other ones, you can get pretty much the poses you need to, and not much else. Anyway, let's end this video. So all in all, that is the Koba Warpaint 6-scale figure in a nutshell. Be careful with this spear, by the way, because it is connected at a weird point, and I went to go pick it up and it snapped right here, so that sucks. I just ate the rest of the glue in my room, so I don't have any at the moment, so I'll have to go get some more. But yes, this guy does look really good. I think just like with Caesar, it looks better with the war paint than without. Nothing against the war paint or the non-war painted version. I just think this guy stands out a bit more overall in the grand scheme of the collection, and it just really does wonders for me. So I'm very happy to have both versions in my collection. I feel like I would feel like I missed out if I didn't get this version, so I'm just happy overall to have both, and I think that this one does just as good, if not better, than the original one. But the original one also still looks really, really good. Unlike the Caesar, which is kind of the original Koba is still really, really good. But the Warpaint version just screams Koba. Sorry about that. I just threw up in my mouth. I'm kidding, I didn't. It screams Koba, and it screams Koba in a good way. It just accentuates all the scarring and the facial expression, and it just does such a good job at looking exactly like him. And the war paint just looks super cool, and it makes me very, very happy. If you've picked up this guy or any of these monkeys, feel free to let me know which ones you're in your collection, which ones are you collecting. Are you getting any? Did you get none? Did you get the horse? Because I'm very intrigued to see what people get, what people didn't get, and to see where people are going to be, and if people are going to regret not getting one or regret getting the other. So I'm just intrigued overall to see how people end up feeling when we get to that point. But for now, you know, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel's been doing super nicely recently, and I'm really enjoying making these videos for you. I've been sitting here for 3 hours just staring at monkeys and brushing monkeys and doing a bunch of monkey business. So I'm just glad that I get to do that and then still talk to you guys, because it makes it so much better. It makes it a lot more fun, and it makes this whole thing really enjoyable for both parties. I'd hope so. And with all of that, you know, as I've always, like and subscribe, just show the support, please. And with all that out of the way, I've been me and you've been you. Thank you for watching yet another monkey 6-scale review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new, and we'll see you then.